40 Racewear, makers of the ultimate sim racing shoes and custom apparel designed for sim racing by sim racers. 40 racing shoes are engineered to connect racers to the pedals in a way no other racing shoe can, all the while giving you the comfort needed to complete those double and triple stints. Visit 40racewear.com and check out the latest sim racing products that let you connect to your sim. "40 Racewear, makers of the ultimate sim racing shoes and custom apparel designed for sim racing by sim racers. 40 racing shoes are engineered to connect racers to the pedals in a way no other racing shoe can, all the while giving you the comfort needed to complete those double and triple stints. Visit 40racewear.com and check out the latest sim racing products that let you connect to your sim. "40 Racewear, makers of the ultimate sim racing shoes and custom apparel designed for sim racing by sim racers. 40 racing shoes are engineered to connect racers to the pedals in a way no other racing shoe can, all the while giving you the comfort needed to complete those double and triple stints. Visit 40racewear.com and check out the latest sim racing products that let you connect to your sim. "40 Racewear, makers of the ultimate sim racing shoes and custom apparel designed for sim racing by sim racers. 40 racing shoes are engineered to connect racers to the pedals in a way no other racing shoe can, all the while giving you the comfort needed to complete those double and triple stints. Visit 40racewear.com and check out the latest sim racing products that let you connect to your sim.
All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Green White Checker TV, where tonight we have the Area 51 Superspeedway Truck Series here tonight at Daytona. Very busy Daytona weekend in real life as well over here at Area 51, as drivers are qualifying right now for our 75 lap event. And again, as always, 2 fast pairs, 2 green white checkered attempts. So you guys might get a little Daytona to after this weekend with actual racing, with our Area 51 racing, with the NASCAR official races over with the 500. So lots of Daytona action here this weekend. So hope everybody's doing well this evening. And yeah, week off for the Super Bowl weekend. Kind of try to keep the Friday and Sunday series matching schedules for that. And yeah, so I say, looking at the notes, I say I've been able to drive a little bit, letting Dean Boomer and Brandon run the show. And what I was trying to get at was it's been Dean 2 in a row at Atlanta, at Talladega. So we'll see if he can try to get the trifecta here tonight at Daytona. But again, he's going to have some strong competition. He's got Robert Rock won the first race, Vicente winning race number 2. So it's going to be fun to see who's going to come out on top. But right now, on the point side of things, he hasn't got a win yet, but he's been stupid consistent, and that is Cody Nagels with 4 starts, 4 top 5 finishes. So that's what's got him in the lead without those wins. But keep an eye on him. Obviously, he's one to watch over the course of any race and every season to try to get those wins. So definitely be watching that number 16 truck. And with that, though, I believe qualifying just has finished. So what we are going to do is let's go ahead and pull up our starting grid for tonight's event. And it will be Vicente Guerrero that are starting on pole in that number 14 truck. Everett Lang going to start position 2 on the outside front row. Row number 2, it's going to be Dean Wilkinson there. Just talked about him a moment ago. Then you got Austin McCarthy there, 4th. Jack Walls back on track. Good to see you back, Jack, in the number 5 position. And then Tom Dixon, Gary Huffines, Robert Rock, 6th through 8th. Cody Nagels, just talked about him, 9th. Justin Davis, top 10 in the number 10 truck. Eric Laurie, Bob Fitzgerald, 11th and 12th. And then continuing down the order, you've got Doug Webb there in 13th. Brandon Briggs, I yanked him out of the booth. I said, you know what? No, you need to go racing. We got to get a couple more trucks in there. So Brandon there, 14th. Bud Steele, 15th. And then Paul Turner, opting not to qualify tonight, will start in the 16th position. All right, so now just waiting for the field to grid. I believe we just have maybe one more truck left to pop up in frame, and then we will begin that warm-up lap tonight here at Daytona. And again, there will be no spoilers for the actual truck race that's going on, but let's be real. I'll say you're here for this one. You don't want to worry about the real truck race. I don't believe there's a money lap officially tonight here, Brendan. I didn't see anything. Charles did say though, the top paid driver, the charter driver in the race, say the winner, if they're a charter driver, will get an extra $10 in their pocket. So if you are chartered, you are going to want to try to get that win, get the extra $10. Maybe it buys you a little bit of extra Valentine's Days, and that might be the other reason why we're missing a few guys. I know there's a few guys at Daytona for the weekend. Obviously Valentine's Day tomorrow, and then of course the NASCAR race on as well. So we got a lot of tough competition tonight for the broadcast, but always here for it and always appreciate everybody that's able to make it to the races, make it on the broadcast. It is always a pleasure to have you all. So hope you're all having a wonderful Friday night. And we're going to get things rolling here in just a moment. Always got a spy on the paint schemes. Always some good looking stuff out there. And again, really appreciate all the drivers always putting such great effort out on the paint schemes. And I say sometimes there's ones that change up week to week. Other times there's ones that just, it's kind of the iconic schemes that they we're kind of known to used to keep an eye out for. So always fun to see in all of those. But I see some new M&M's actions going on for that 08 of Bob Fitzgerald. Let's see, what's Brandon got tonight? Oh, yeah, that one hits close to home. Love the paint scheme there, Brandon, as well. And yeah, so really, really cool to see. And yeah, Brian Clausen, obviously big name in racing, and I'd say he's done a lot of good. And always love that people kind of keep that name going. So big shout there, Brandon, as well. That said, though, we're about to see that pace car make that left off of the racing surface. They're going to hand it over to our front row. You see the 1424 there, Vicente Guerrero, Everett Lane. And, of course, row 2, Dean Wilkinson, Austin McCarthy. We'll see how the pushes go. Wait for that green to fly, and we are underway here at Daytona. 75 laps, as always, scheduled distance. 2 green and checkers, 2 faster pairs available as they start to build speed here heading into turn number 1 for the first time. Say this. I was going to say so far so good. I think Cody's maybe thinking ride here for a second. He's been involved in some pretty busy races the last few nights. So I say he did the PGR 500. So great result for him getting the podium over there. So big congrats on that. Just to make that race is a challenge in itself. So to be able to finish third and be in a great shot to win that race was super impressive. So big congrats, Cody, on that one. However, lap number 1 though will go to Everett. And Everett's going to say, I'm going to work both lanes here. He's going to work the bottom, jump to the top, get back in front of Austin McCarthy, get that push down through 1 and 2 once more. Vince got great pushing from Dean behind him. And then you got the 411, Tom Dixon right there as well in that HyperX truck. Robert Rock behind him. So you got a couple of TW boys lined up on that outside line, but they got a couple other guys in the way. And I'm looking and I'm seeing a third lane, and there's always somebody that's going to be willing to take that third lane. And that's going to be Brandon Briggs. He's going to try to go to the front. He's never one to just sit and ride. And none other than Cody, as I just mentioned, he's going to try to shove him around. But right now they think they need another truck or 2 to get this momentum rolling. So we'll see. But every little hiccup that happens in the middle might change that momentum. So right now they're trying to work forward. But up front, though, it's still Everett working both lanes, doing a great job here. I think I just saw Brandon maybe just kiss the wall a little bit. Looks like he's been able to recover. And so, yes, that's going to slow that momentum down. Right now, kind of stuck between Bob Fitzgerald there. And now he has the opening to drop down. But, again, he's going to want to stay with his helper there in that 16. So, but, yeah, so just give it time, though. There's going to be eventually he's going to kind of get that momentum built up. However, looks like we're going to have our first potential lead change here. That's Austin McCarthy getting a great run down the back, jumping to that inside line. And he's going to get that big push from Vince here down the front stretch, entering the tri-oval. See if he can lead his first lap of the evening. And that is going to be a yes, put the 99 truck out in front that time around. Right now, not a ton of movement. Again, I say that's the key thing we always talk about. I feel like we harp on is Daytona a little narrow. I think about 8 feet narrower than Talladega, but those 8 feet make the world of difference for how comfortable you feel running that second and third lane. So, and I think that's what we're seeing here is now Tom Dixon, great move. He sneaks underneath that 24 truck of Everett Lane. He's going to try to get himself to the front again. Some of these guys we talk about, those drivers that really like to hang in the back previous seasons, they've stepped it up, though, where they said, you know what, we're going to start qualifying. We're going to run up front, challenge for it, so kind of learn what you need to do to get in these positions. And I think it's been helping a ton, so really cool to see on that front as well. And speaking of that schedule, after tonight, we'll be going over back to Atlanta Motor Speedway, then to Talladega. And then it'll only be once this season, but I would expect we might see it more on the calendar next season. And that is we're bringing back iRacing Superspeedway. So in a couple weeks' time, These trucks will be going that 220, 230 if I'm not mistaken, so should be really fun to see those guys. These things are always a handful over there, but it'll be a lot of fun to watch. And I say right now, again, talk about strategies. It's been a lot of drivers just trying to run up front. I feel like Everett, again, he's kind of been trying to lead the lanes, both sides, doing a great job doing it. You see the progress now from that 39 and the 16. They've worked themselves up to about the 4th row, and they're going to maybe pick up. I think the 171 maybe liked what he saw there, or he decided I'm going to try to drop back, and at the best time, a little bump there, got him unsettled. Hangs on to it, though. But I was going to mention is 2 drivers that are kind of just going full kind of just wait and bide your time strategy. That's going to be Bud Steele, Paul Turner there. Bud in that, what is that, Bellhaven and Navy truck in the number 6. Paul Turner in that number 5 machine. So these guys just kind of cruise control right now. Just give themselves a little bit of wiggle room should something happen. But as you can see, though, Tom Dixon's got to the point, and that little bit of a hiccup there, it looks like, has unfortunately dropped the 39 and 16 a little bit back the running order here once more. So they're going to have to try to regroup and try to push their way back forward, but might also have to just try to, maybe they might have to look at saving a little bit of fuel probably too, burning a lot of fuel trying to work that 3rd lane. So we'll keep an eye on that for sure. One driver we hadn't seen on track for a little while, but definitely was popping out in the YouTube chat, and that is always appreciated. That is that 83 right here of Jack Walls. Say Jack been doing some traveling. He would always chime in and say where he was at. So Jack, hope the travels were good. Glad to see you back on track though, man. And say if I know Jack, he's working the field mileage while having the track position as well, with some great help behind him with Gary Huffines there in that number 98 truck there. Movement there in that middle lane, that's going to slow them up. That's the 10 truck there. Justin Davis looked like he had a little bit of a moment, and they've actually switched positions now. So now it's Cody being pushed by the 39 of Brandon Briggs. We'll see if this maybe switches things up a little bit, kind of gets that, find the right combo between the two of them. Maybe Brandon feels a little bit more comfortable pushing than being pushed. And this is great though too, because again, the talent of these guys were, I mean, Brandon obviously, I mean, he races the Sunday series regularly, but it's always good to just get those extra reps in and just get more familiar with things. And again, I mean, there's no better teacher than the 16. I was teasing him pre-race that I told Brandon to say, yeah, go hang out with them and steal all their secrets to then relay it over to me. But yeah, no, it's a really good group of guys over there. And so again, really appreciate everybody that's here tonight again, and get to bounce around the chats, talk to the drivers. It's always such a great group of guys. So that said, though, let's look out the back here. Tom Dixon's got a great view up front. We don't need to show that. We want to see what's going on behind him, and that still is Austin McCarthy right now rolling in that number 2 spot, who is up 2 spots from P4 where he qualified, and then 5 spots for Tom Dixon, who currently sits as our leader. And if my boy Chad Cole's watching this one, I say he sees the Culvers on the banner. He's getting hungry. I'm pretty sure I see a Packers helmet there in the driver of that 99 car. So I say I know a buddy of mine probably has made a new best friend in that 99 truck of Austin McCarthy. So again, always fun to see the originality that some of these guys have with the paint schemes, and it doesn't go there just there. The drivers, the uniforms, the helmets. Actually, let's look off the back of the 99. Look at the 14 truck. It's hard to see to some extent, but say back in the day, though, if you saw that helmet in your mirror, you probably were a little nervous behind you. So that's Vicente's got the Dale Earnhardt Sr. helmet there, mustache and all. So also, again, the originality is super fun to see what these guys can come up with, and where you can find some of these. I mean, I've seen Skeletor helmets and just you name it, and someone's thought of it. So crash test dummies are really fun I've seen before as well. Right now, though, highest climber at the moment is this truck right here, that 714 of Doug Webb. He's up 8 spots in that number 714 machine. So a good start for him early on. Again, these guys, looks like we're, I wouldn't say getting in a lull, but it looks like these guys just maybe starting to get a little comfortable here. Everett Lane's dropped a little bit back now to the 8th position there, right behind his teammate Eric Laurie. That is always critical to have. and also Doug Webb. So actually the three boot knocker drivers here tonight, three of them are lined up nose to tail. That's going to be a good opportunity for them come pit stop time. Also, one of the drivers that isn't here on Friday nights anymore, at least this season, Gabe Butler, saw some pictures of him. He's over at, I think, in Daytona, was able to come across and hang out and meet up with some of his other sim racing friends. So again, that's the community I talk about. Is you race with each other online and you get the opportunity, you go and you meet the guys, and it's just really fun to see. And that's what I always loved about the sim racing community is, again, that camaraderie. Sure, people we'll get riled up from time to time. We're all competitive. But just the fact that you're able to then go and meet them and get to name to the face. I saw a big slide. We got trouble in 3. There's Dean Wilkinson getting by far the worst of it, but also some shots there for Gary Huff finds Paul Turner as well. That is going to be caution number 1 here. And I saw it start near-ish Everett Lane. That's caution coming to lap number 13 here at the line. And that will be caution number 1 of the evening. So let's go back. I want to take a look around Everett Lane because I saw that out of the corner of my eye, I saw that truck start to get a little sideways here. So let me find that 24 truck. I mean, you can see he is right on the rear bumper of Eric Laurie here. Gives him a little bump there going into 3. And, oh, yeah, just a little bump from Dean. And then you see there, Dean, I think at the same time here, Dean gets that bump as well. And that's from Bob Fitzgerald. Cody Nagel's right there. So let's go back a little further. And, again, you're going to see, I think, if I can get an angle, this is perfect here. Take a look at this. You're going to see the accordion effect here. You get the 55, bumps to 24. That checks him up into the 08. That checks the 08 up into the 16. And then from there, just everybody's just trying to hang on to it. Bob gets into the corner there. You see Cody gets a little piece as well. Oh, you see Brandon also gets a little shot there, but I think he hangs on to that truck. He does. Great job by him. And then, unfortunately, that 5 truck, we talked about Paul Turner maybe being somewhere safe. Unfortunately, it's not always anywhere safe on the track. So, unfortunately, it'll be in damage for his truck. And then it's going to be who can maybe manually repair the truck, who can get a fast repair. And now does Dean wind up landing on his feet? Oh, the grass. That is a huge break there for Dean, not having to tow that truck, just grabbing kind of hooking the grass and throwing that truck back on its feet. And so that's going to send the field here onto pit road. And it looks like everybody is back together there. And again, it's going to be fun to see who's going to kind of try to take those fast repairs, who's going to save them. Looking at Dean, yeah, Dean's made it all the way through. He's going to jump in now for his pit service. So, yeah, we'll be watching this, but it's going to be Tom Dixon the first hitting his pit stall here. I don't know if you're seeing what I'm seeing, but that 14 truck, there's some violent wheel swinging going back and forth right now there. I'm not sure if he's trying to get every drop of fuel in the tank or if that wheel's, let's say, if he's let go of the wheel and it's just going full spaz. But you see Dean here. Yeah, that's a fast repair for that 55. I say there's no way he was going to get away with that one. And then you do have a number of trucks that are still pitting here. We just mentioned Dean there leaving pit road fast repair. Robert Rock was about 34 seconds. But then Cody, oh yeah, I mean, you can see he had some pretty decent repairs too to have Brendan Briggs though as well. And then Paul Turner opting to save his as well. So what we will do is we'll take a quick break here and we'll come right back on the one to go. Stay tuned.
40 Racewear, makers of the ultimate sim racing shoes and custom apparel designed for sim racing by sim racers. 40 racing shoes are engineered to connect racers to the pedals in a way no other racing shoe can, all the while giving you the comfort needed to complete those double and triple stints. Visit 40racewear.com and check out the latest sim racing products that let you connect to your sim.
lights are off of the pace car. Looks like the top 5 opted not to top off here. 6th on back, however, do. Austin McCarthy going to be the first of those. And it was a quick stop for Cody. I'm wondering if he decided, well, let's take a good look at his truck here. Trying to get a feel for if that's fast repair or not. Because, again, he had a lengthy stop in the first one. And I'm wondering if he just decided, you know what, let me go ahead and just grab one here. So can't tell, unfortunately. A lot of times when they fix these trucks, they fix them pretty much to perfection, so you can't tell. Paul Turner's the other one we mentioned. We'll see if his shows anything obvious. So far, looking pretty normal. Nice and shiny Captain Morgan truck. You got Captain Morgan on there. He's got Heineken on there. He's got all the fun things going on that number 5 truck. But yeah, so possibly some fast repairs taken. We know Dean Wilkinson for sure had one. But yeah, so we're gonna line him back up here again. Didn't quite get into a full fuel run there, so don't quite have the exact fuel number yet. But again, there's still plenty of time to go in this one. We're gonna restart this race with 60 laps to go. And again, with all those drivers topping off, you are gonna have a very long single file line here. So pretty much from, I believe it's gonna be from about, let's see, yeah, Eric Laurie on back. All of these drivers after Eric Laurie topped off, so they all have to restart behind that number 071 truck. That's going to hand it back over to our race leader, which is Jack Walls, Everett Lane to his outside. As we wait for that restart zone, we will get back underway. And green flag is back out, so here we go, starting lap number 16 here at Daytona. And immediately everybody wants to get singled up here on the inside lane. We'll see if there's going to be a second lane. Nothing yet, but I think Dean said, yeah, I'm not just going to ride. And I say again, you feel pretty comfortable if you know you got someone behind you. But you can see right there, peaked up, no speed yet. So they got to build that momentum up. Then you're going to see those moves start to happen. And I think we're seeing the similar thing a little further up front there, where I think Everett's waiting to go, but needs to get that momentum built up. Now he's going to get the run on the 83 of Jack Wells. Everett's going to jump top. He's got Justin Davis with him. The 99 of Austin McCarthy, he's going to jump top as well. But Steele's going to stay with his teammate there on the inside lane. And here comes that third lane we just talked about. They're waiting for that momentum to build up, and they have found it. Because here comes Dean Wilkinson, Cody Angles up into the top 5. Just one lap after that restart. And really all kind of came through right after the, really through the backstretch there. And poor Tom Dixon's thinking, man, what do I have to do to get some draft here? As now he's going to get some with the 55-16 clearing. Gets to the middle. Oh, a little bit of a bump there from Garrett to the Tom Dixon. Everybody's able to keep those trucks pointing straight, though, and we continue on. As now Brandon Briggs trying to push that number 98, Gary Huffines. See if he can get that third lane rolling for him as well. Again, a little shot there between the two of those trucks there. So, again, just getting a little tight there on that 3-wide battle. But now you can see a race again, though. Everybody's fighting, get spots. All right, let's go back single file here, get lined up. But now we've got teammates have found each other, I think, for the first time tonight, the 14 and the 16. So watch these two lock on and going to try to charge to the front. And it looks like some other drivers are going to try to tag along with them. Dean Wilkinson in that group. Tom Dixon is in that group. Had a 98 Gary Huffine. So these guys said, yep, I see that second lane foreman. Let's go for it. And they're going to try to tag along. So we'll see this. Anybody try to maybe jump to be the leader of that line? Jack Walls, maybe Austin McCarthy. At the moment, the answer is no, not yet. We'll look off the back of our race leader, Everett Lane. And you can see right now they're about lined up with third position on the inside line, but here comes the momentum. We always talk about the outside line gets a good exits out of 2 and 4, and again they can open the wheel up a little bit more. Inside line usually has to stay pinched off just that little bit, and that makes that big difference for these trucks to be able to get that lane working. And of course, if you're that pushing truck like Cody is, you got to make sure you keep those temps in check as well. So it's very easy to overheat these trucks, and when you stay locked on for too long, that's why you also see Justin Davis building that little bit of separation to a 24. And once he gets cooled off enough, you'll see him make that charge back to the rear bumper of the 24. But here's that momentum I just talked about, the 14 and 16. Vince has just about got to him here. And now you can get a really good look off on that helmet there as they come through 3 and 4. And yeah, and here you go. There's the move on the outside. There's the bump from the number 10. But the momentum has shifted to this number 14 truck. He is going to clear at the line, but is going to wait, I would think, for his teammate to try to clear as well. But they might have to stay locked in here. But again, if Cody gets hot, it might be in Vince's best interest to just go ahead and drop down and let Cody cool off. But here comes that third lane, though. Look at that 98. Gary Huffines, he's going to try to roll that top side as well. He wants to get into this mix. See, those two have cleared. Dean's going to clear the inside line. He'll hop in front of Everett. And once again, poor Tom Dixon just feels like he's just getting left hung out to dry each time here. So he's going to have to try to find a little bit of help there. He's got some rep right now from those two in the middle lane. But again, though, just kind of that ebb and flow. And so if they start to change the lanes, oh, a little bit of contact there, the 24 and the 16. They hang on to it, though. Again, great hands by that 16 of Cody. It looked like maybe the 24 just drifted up a teeny bit. But again, when you're in these cars, all you're seeing is that car ahead of you, just staring at rear spoiler. So we can kind of get a view of that here. Let's hop on with Justin Davis, and you can kind of get a feel for what he's seeing. It's like once you're locked in like this, and Everett's actually probably a little tighter, but you can see, I mean, you just see what's in front of you. And again, this is also in the roll bar more centered. He's further left. You do not see as much. So it's, yeah, it's very, very tightly packed in that one. And so again, you just kind of try to react to those cars around you, the trucks around you, and sometimes it just has a little bit of a contact. And here you can see there's going to be another truck around. That's the 10 of Justin Davis. He is going to loop it around, and I think, looks like we will get a yellow, but it looks like damage-wise, I think it's not going to be too terrible. We'll have to go back. We'll take a look. Definitely see some right front damage to that number 10. And yeah, you can see it there. Some pretty decent damage. Truck looks like it's tracking straight. Think they'll be okay on that front. Let's go back here once more. We'll take a look here. All right, so we're going to start with Justin Davis. Again, it may have happened a little further up here. You can see they're 3 wide just ahead. So we're going to pick it up just a little bit here. And of course, let's try to get a better shot. There we go. And actually, yeah, it looks like Doug Webb kind of drops down just a teeny bit. And again, this is just, there's so much going on that these guys are so tight on one another here. Let's see if I can get a better shot of this one. So if you kind of can see that third truck in the middle, there's Webb there. And of course, I think it's going to be right as the camera moves over. And yeah, you can see a little bit of the left front to right rear. And unfortunately, once again, Brandon Briggs there just kind of gets pancakes into the wall. Maybe not too bad. Eric Laurie, you can see the 10 almost starts to tip over, able to hang on to it. But then I was watching this right here as well. Look at the hands of these guys. You see Bud Steele, he gets through it. And then some of these drivers opting to just kind of avoid that cone there. And I was watching Robert Rock as well. He was one that did not want to have that unsafe pit entry, so he was able to avoid the cone. So yeah, so that's going to bring us back under yellow. Field is back into the pits. Vince leading them on in. So what we'll do once more is we'll take a quick break, and we'll be back on the one to go, so stay tuned. lights are off of the pace car. And once again, a handful of drivers opting to go ahead and do another top off here. This time we'll be restarting this race on lap 25, so it'll be 51 to go on the restart. And Dean Wilkinson, Everett Lane will be our front row. And it's once again about the same. This time 6 trucks it looks like they'll be lining up here that did not top off. And the first that did is going to be once again Austin McCarthy in the 99. And there also were a few lengthier pit stops. Brandon Briggs was one we mentioned. We saw some damage to some of the other guys too. So once again, damage repairs being done. Hopefully able to get those trucks back to full song here, not have to burn that fast repair. Alright, so again, didn't quite get to a fuel run here, so we still don't have a full number on the fuel mileage situation. But again, we do still have all the drivers still in the race, all drivers still on the lead lap as well. And yeah, so say Everett started second, running second, Dean started third, now up into the front spot. And Dean's also got a teammate behind him with Tom Dixon, so that is always a good thing to have. So we'll see how it's going to shake out on this restart here. Gonna again, once again, hand it over to the front row. Pace car has swung off the racing surface. Once they hit that restart zone, once the green flag comes out, Dean will get things rolling. Here we go, back under green, starting lap 25 of 75, 51 to go. And once again, pretty quick for this field to want to get lined up here on that inside lane here. So it's going to make it tough for a few of these guys. You see 24 there, Everett Lane, Eric Glory, Gary Huffines as well, and then Doug Webb. All those guys, it's going to take about that half lap, but they'll finally now start to get to pick each other up in there and get that draft built up here. But I mean, again, you see the 24 went from outside front row to pretty much tied for 4th there with Bud Steele on the inside line. So again, though, teammates though on the inside of those first 2 rows, so don't expect Tom to really go anywhere off the back of that 55 until he maybe starts to get hot. And then, of course, you've got teammates there a little further back there with the 83 and the 6. But at the moment, they seem pretty content right now. Now I see some big pushes happening from that 24 and the 071 try and charge their way back forward here. But again, though, still got about 2/3 of this race left to go. So a lot of time for things to happen. And right now, I think there's going to, again, still that mix of biding their time versus trying to get up there and control this thing. Right now it's those 2 TW drivers running 1-2 in the field. 3rd place and 4th place are the Roswell drivers there, Jack Wells, Bud Steele. And then you've got, again, this is where the side-by-side really starts to begin, is the 99 and 24, 071, the 08, the 98, the 14. So everybody's starting to kind of get lined up here on the, pretty much from about row 5 going back. Again, just give a little bit of, here you go though, look at the 3rd lane now. That 98 truck, he's going to get help from Brennan. They're going to try to push forward, so let's see what Gary's able to do here. I think the problem right now is numbers, though. They just don't have, there's only 2 of them there on that middle lane. And so with those 2 and then the 3 on the outside, that's just, it's going to do exactly what you see right here. It's going to let that inside line just kind of run away here. And I think I see a teammate there, Doug Webb, trying to open up the inside there for Everett. I know Everett seems pretty committed, though, to running that middle lane. You can see now he's going to start to push a little bit forward here again. Pretty much right to the 98 there, side by side, or I should say in the middle 3 here between the 16 and the 98. And again, right now, though, those 2 drivers up front, the 55 and the 411, very happy where things are looking at right now with these guys just running single file 2x2. All is well. that second pack is starting to slowly work their way forward here on that second lane there again. And right now, it's again just the 24 in the 071, Eric Laurie and Everett Lane. I'll be curious to see at some point, do we see some drivers try to maybe join that group? But right now, it seems pretty much settled in on just the 2 on the middle, 3 on the outside. So again, it's tough to do with just those 2 trucks. But and really, I mean, I still think about fuel. The best truck in this pack right now is going to be Austin McCarthy, because he topped off. He's been running the inside line this entire time. And so really, he should probably be about in the best spot on the fuel situation at the moment. But again, long racing left to go here. We'll have to see what the fuel mileage is. So yeah, we'll definitely be keeping an eye on that as this race unfolds. And see there's the 98 there, a little moment able to handle it. And that's going to kill that third lane. Now these guys might have to get back lined up here to that to the middle from the top. But it looks like not quite there yet, although Brennan's leaning that way, it looks like. And yeah, looks like Brennan's going to go ahead and sneak around that 98 here. Unfortunately for Gary, you can see it's pretty much dropped him all the way to the back. And with doing that though, it does to me look like that getting rid of that third lane has really actually helped that middle lane. So now you got the 24 and the 071. They've gotten again about to 4th now next to Bud Steele. And I also see Brandon coming up, so that's going to be that third truck, which is always very important in these things. So we'll just have to again kind of keep an eye on the fuel mileage and see kind of who can go how far based on the pit stops. Again, these drivers pitting a lap 22 and 23. And that's going to be the big question, is how far can they go, and does that put them in a potential window to get to the end? The separation here I do not like here is pretty much right there with Gary Huffines here, Justin Davis, Paul Turner, Robert Rock. They got to get organized right now and get lined up, get back to that draft, because they were about a half a second off. They're starting to get right back to it now. So I think they'll be fine, but that's one of those things when you start to see a couple truck lengths in between you and the trucks in front, you start to get a little nervous, and you don't want to lose that draft, especially if you might still have a little bit of lingering damage. It kind of affects how these trucks can suck up. So luckily they're able to do that, and they're back in the mix. You see Doug Webb, he's going to jump top. So we're going to pretty much now have about a split group here inside and middle lane here. So again, right now Eric Laurie trying to do all the pushing he can do with keeping those temps in check in that 071. And then same thing right now, Tom Dixon, Dean Wilkinson. They've just been holding a pretty steady pace. Say maybe about a half second off the fastest laps that I've seen. But again, though, they don't need to force the issue right now. They can just kind of do what they're doing here. So again, this is once Everett gets to them, we'll see if the aggression changes out of that 55 before 11. Right now, Everett's gotten to about Bud Steele in line here for that 4th position. So again, slowly but surely a little bit of a contact there between the two of them. I think same thing, maybe stealing just a little bit of side draft. And again, the physics in the net cone in this game are definitely far from perfect. So sometimes say it's easy to kind of get sucked into each other a little bit. So again, that's one of those things where you have to be careful how tight you want to squeeze that car next to you. But you can see right now, though, that 071, he is completely locked onto the rear bumper there. So you can hop on the roof of that 071. You can see exactly what we're talking about here. And saying that's exactly what Eric sees. He sees Yosemite Sam with a giant push on his hat, and so he is doing exactly that. He is pushing that 24. Again, it's got to keep those temps in check, but he is doing a great job trying to keep that truck as far forward as he can. But you'll start to see at some point he's going to have to make some separation and get those temperatures happier again and be able to, but you can see when he does it, there you go right now, that's where he's doing right now, getting those temps back. But in doing so, you can see they lost about that car length or so, and that's all it takes. That's how pretty much perfect you have to be in order to try to keep these things, timing it when to make the pushes, when not to make the pushes. And you can see attempts maybe getting a little better. All right, let's lock on. Let's shove again. Oh, man, a little bit of a wobble there. That's always the dangerous part is when you get locked on, you make those pushes when there's a little bit of an off-centered. It's a very scary situation to have, but they've got themselves now up to Tom Dixon. We'll see, does this change what Tom does with Dean? Does Tom get a little bit more aggressive on the back of the 55? And once again, yeah, I'd say I was watching Robert Rock, Paul Turner again, falling off a little bit here, about 0.3 off. I saw immediately Robert said, all right, let me get back in line. And there you go. Oh, my goodness. I saw that. And I've talked about this before. I'll bring it up again. Eric was so committed there to pushing Everett. As soon as Everett moved down because he was clear, Eric, again, all he's staring at is that rear bumper of that number 24 truck. And that's what happened. But I might have to go back here because we've got a bunch of trucks here. Nope, as I said, actually, caution is out now. Because I was going to say something's going on, and we're going to go back and we're going to find it. So I want to say, I think it's good. Yeah, it's going to involve, I believe, Austin McCarthy. So let me go back here. Let's go find him. And I wonder if it was this right here that really stacked the field. Oh my goodness. Yeah, look at all these accordions. Oh, yeah, okay. I missed all of this. I apologize. And so, yeah, so there you go. The 16 got a piece of the 99. And so that was why we saw the field all spread out here. And so, yeah, so caution comes out. It took a little bit, but it finally found its way out. And so, yeah, so tough break for those guys. And again, that's just, we talked about those accordion effects. And that was exactly what we saw here. Well, like I said, I'll back it up one more time so we can kind of get a better look of where it all started. And like I said, I think it looks like the accordion kind of winds up hitting initially with Jack Walls here and the 411 Tom Dixon. And again, it's nothing that anybody did wrong. It's just everybody stacked up so bad. Jack slows down to try to avoid getting to 411, and then the 83 gets into the 6 gets into the 99. And then I think the 99 probably got a bump from the 88 as well. Gary Huffines, wrong place, wrong time. I'm watching Vicente here. Does he get through this? He might be able to squeeze the middle. And yeah, Vince just gets through. Cody almost gets through, but you can see he hits just that left front. So he's going to have some damage to that 16 truck. And so, yeah, so unfortunately, going to be a number of trucks here having to decide on, again, fast repairs or not. So let's jump back live because we should see the field hit pit lane here in just one moment. I believe this is going to come pretty much right at halfway as Everett's going to lead the field on in. And yeah, so I say we're on lap 37, coming to 38 here. So I believe, like I said, I believe this is the halfway point of the race, if my poor math is correct. So once again, we'll do is we'll take a quick break, step away during this caution. I'll get some water and such in me, and we'll be back here on the one to go. So stay tuned.
40 Racewear, makers of the ultimate sim racing shoes and custom apparel designed for sim racing by sim racers. 40 racing shoes are engineered to connect racers to the pedals in a way no other racing shoe can, all the while giving you the comfort needed to complete those double and triple stints. Visit 40racewear.com and check out the latest sim racing products that let you connect to your sim.
All right, lights are off. The pace car field is coming through turns 1 and 2. And once again, split decision on the pit stop side of things. And I was saying, I think from now here, probably feeling pretty safe, we'll say, for a one stop to the end. I've been wrong many a time before, but with 37 to go, it's less than 20 laps. I feel like they can do that. Maybe, 19 or so laps to be 36 to go. So if they can go 18-18, they can make it to the end. So we'll see on that one. This time, top 8 did not pit. 9th on back went ahead and topped off. And again, some lengthier pit stops for drivers trying to get those faster pairs saved for later should they need it. Looking around at the field, seeing who is where. Trying to see if I see any obvious teammates, but again, there's still a long ways to go. I don't think we're too worried about who's lined up with one another as of yet, but you never know in these things. So right now, Everett again, our leader, Dean Wilkinson to his outside as we are back underway here, starting lap number 40, 36 to go. Got one down on the apron. I think that was, Gary Huffines. I'm wondering if if he's got any faster pairs left, he might be saying, you know what, I got to keep this truck safe to the end. Not sure, again, this is just speculation, but do kind of wonder with the way he dropped back there. So again, he's got to make sure he doesn't lose the track. But yeah, I think he'll be okay on this one. You can see Dean now, he's going to jump top. He's going to pick up Jack Walls here on that outside lane. And will they both clear? No, they will not. They're also grabbing Bob Fitzgerald in that third lane, or in that second lane, in that number 3 spot in the 08 truck. So yeah, so right now it still continues to be that 24 and the 55 lead in the first 2 rows. Oh, big move there by Everett. Got clear of Dean. Said, yep, you go ahead and give me that little extra boost here. And we'll see how long that lasts before he decides, okay, let me go ahead and jump back down to the inside. But I don't know. I feel like the middle lane has been better this season than I feel like previous. A lot of times you'd see them, they just live on that white line, yellow line in this case, apologies. But I really feel like, that second lane may be the place to be this season. It seems like it's definitely been better, and you see Everett there. Solid momentum shifting back. He drops to the inside once more, and that's going to now leave the 55 and the 83 together on that outside lane. So again, you can see on the timing scoring on the left, all of our drivers still are on the lead lap. Oh, the 83 to 55 come right together there. They clear. And now you got some teammates that have found each other once again and going to try to charge forward here. That's going to be Vince and Cody. They've been quieter tonight than maybe we're used to, but you know they're ever looming. They're going to grab Brandon Briggs along as well. That's always a good addition to have. And like I mentioned for Brandon there, it's always good to kind of try to see what you can learn from these guys. Try to pick up all you can. Doug Webb right there as well in that 714. And we always talk about play with some of the toys, and so we'll see where these drivers kind of gainers and everything. And Vince right back to where he was at the start of this race, at the top spot from pole to the lead at the moment. As right now you can see Brandon Briggs where he stands currently is plus 11, but again he's still got to try to clear these inside line, and he is close. He is clear, but not anymore. You can see that's how quick it can change. He was clear for just a split second, and then Dean got that push to be able to get back to his inside. Yeah, right now, big momentum shift to that outside lane with the 14, the 16, 39, 714. Now Brandon clears. He's going to go with him all the way to the inside here. Cody sees momentum shift as well. He's going to drop down in front of Brandon. And again, so that's going to get them now back to those top 3 positions, leaving now Doug Webb to lead that outside line. And as soon as I say that, look at the movement going on. The momentum shifted. Vince saw it. He went top. Cody went right with him. And so I think you're going to start to see a lot of movement. And yeah, there you go. Doug's going to try to squeeze the middle here, get to the inside of that 14 and the 16. And you can see right there, Cody's going to just sneak in front of the 24 of Everett here. And so now that's going to force the 39 to be the pusher of that 714 truck. Again, definitely at least one more pit stop to go till the end. Next time by will be 30 laps to go in the race. And you can see, again, not even running the middle lane now. They're running more of the third line. And so once again here, now you see the 24 is trying to see if he can get enough momentum to get to the inside. The answer is going to be no. Right on the 14, 16, they had enough space there. So now Everett's got to decide here, at what point do I want to stay in front of 411? Am I going to try to drop down and pick up Doug Webb? And here's your answer. He says, yep, I'm going to pick up my teammate Doug Webb here. See if we can lock on here and make a move. As you can see, once more, the 16 just gets, as soon as they're clear, they get down to the middle lane. And here we go. Now 30 to go. Still lots of racing left to go in this one. But you can see, though, definitely everybody's trying to figure out what lane is where you want to be in this one. And again, to me, second lane seems to be the place to be. One big difference I'm seeing now, though, is Paul Turner in the 5 truck. He's been kind of cruising in the back. He said, okay, we're getting closer. Let me start to try to creep forward a little bit. So I think Paul is starting to try to learn a little bit, see what he can maybe do, and kind of find the positions that he needs to try to put that truck in to make something happen here later on the end. So, and again, I think that's a big thing to do, is you got to put yourself in places where, okay, if I do this, does it help? Does it hurt? And yeah, you just try to get those things in your memory bank and say, okay, this is probably a good move to make later on in the race, and so on. So yeah, it's gonna be really fun to see, but still plenty of time to go. Again, for me, if we stay green, the number one situation here is gonna be that pit stop. They got to get in clean and out clean. And here you go, Tom Dixon, he's done riding. He wants to try to see if he can find a way to get underneath that 14 and 16 duo, maybe get some laps led under the belts for Tom Dixon. As you can see, he has got to the quarter of Cody. He's actually got up along Vince now. And now you're going to have that draft push here. It's going to be the 14-16 pushing, 24 and 4-11 pushing. You can see there again the momentum shift to that outside lane. They just got locked on a little quicker, and that's been able to lock them through. Look at the 5 trick there. Big move in front of the 411. Let's see what Paul Turner can do now. He's got some help behind him. And right now, numbers in my mind are on that inside lane. Again, we'll have to keep an eye, because every so often you'll see Brennan. He kind of peaks third lane. He's got Justin Davis with him. But right now, let's say Paul Turner's gotten again next to that 16 of Cody Nagels, but can't quite do anything to Vince yet. Further back, the field is all still in lockstep with one another. And again, I still wonder if there's maybe a little bit of a fuel strategy going on for some drivers here. And you can see Vince is going to clear. He's going to drop down in front, and that's going to now let Cody lead the outside lane. He's got Brennan now as his pusher, Justin Davis behind him. However, there you go. Cody's able to clear. He drops in front of that 14. And now you can see again, though, everybody's going to start to kind of cycle around a little bit. I saw immediately Everett said, okay, I'm jumping back up top here. I want to see if I can push myself back to the front. And so this will be a good test, I think, is to see, now that you've got different set of trucks on the inside versus the outside, is the advantage maybe, does the lane play enough of a difference? Is it just how well the 16 and 14 work together? So this will be a great test here between that 39 to 10 and the 24 here around that second lane. So I'm really excited to see how this lines up for them. You can see again a little bit of separation. That's going to really hurt there, and that's going to really ruin that momentum that that second lane had going. So they'll have to regroup once more and try to get back after it here again. And you can see, yeah, just can't quite get lined up very well. And again, it's just one of those things that they build with experience. Brendan's been running the Gen 6 cars, hasn't run the trucks here this season yet. And so, yeah, you see Everett said, okay, this isn't flying. I got to get back in lane. Oh, we got trouble. Brandon's going to be a bump around. He is going to get that spin. That is going to bring the caution back out. And, oh, the 99 of Austin McCarthy, that poor guy, has had no luck tonight. Now looks like I think he'll get away with it. But let's go back here. We'll take another look at this one. Because it just seemed like it was, yeah, kind of a little bit of bumping back and forth. And it's they couldn't stay centered on each other. Like I said, it was nothing malicious, just a little bit of mistakes here and there. We'll see if we can get a better look at it here. Again, this is a little ahead of time because I say this is before you see. There's Everett where he drops in. And then you're going to see right there. And Brandon's trying to chase it. Take a better look. So also it was really close there to Bob Fitzgerald. Great heads up by him to avoid that as well. Let's see if I can find a good angle here. And you can see right there, it kind of pushes Brandon. I'm not sure if it's a bump that moved Brandon down or not, but yeah, and then that gets him. And right now, Brandon's just trying to chase this thing and try to hang on to it for all he's worth. And he just about has it, but right there, the rear tire the crank it to the right just finally catches him around. And then, like we mentioned there, Austin McCarthy just has had not a lot of luck tonight. So you see he sees everybody moving low. He's got to try to see where he can go. He sees Brandon. He's going to try to... Does he avoid this? Oh, I think he does. I think he just has a little slide in the avoiding. And so, yeah, I'm going to say other than tires, probably no harm, no foul out of that number 99 truck. So great hands by Austin. It's been a busy night for him tonight. So we are going to have this caution. They're going to come into pit road here, 23 to go at the line. And this is going to be the question mark now is we don't know the fuel mileage that these trucks have. We haven't got to be able to get that green flag stop to get a full number in. So, yeah, it's going to be fun to see what these guys can do with it. If someone's going to go full fuel save or if they all can make it. The pace of the race will be very telling, as well as, of course, if we see a bunch of drivers top off or not. So that'll be something we watch very closely. It is a very nice paint scheme, Peter. Your paint schemes never disappoint, sir. It's got a little dent in it, though, so you might have to charge him a little bit for repairs. However, while these guys get repairs done, we'll once again step away for just a moment, and we'll be back here on the one to go, so stay tuned.
4D Racewear, makers of the ultimate sim racing shoes and custom apparel designed for sim racing by sim racers. 4D racing shoes are engineered to connect racers to the pedals in a way no other racing shoe can, all the while giving you the comfort needed to complete those double and triple stints. Visit 4dracewear.com and check out the latest sim racing products that let you connect to your sim.
All right. Lights are off of the pace car. Field is getting themselves lined back up, and once again, split decision. It goes from our leader, Tom Dixon, back to Bob Fitzgerald, who have opted not to top off on the one to go. Ninth place, Cody Nagels, all the way back to Robert Rock, opted to go ahead and get that little extra splash of fuel. We're going to restart this thing with 21 to go. So that's going to be the question mark, is that fuel mileage. Again, we never have had that green flag run in tonight to get the fuel mileage, which, unfortunately, I'll say that again, that's kind of, a lot of times, that's the bread and butter of the series, is who can get in and out the best. So if these guys have the fuel to the end, we'll probably be able to tell pretty quick. See, field getting lined back up here, waiting for that restart, and now we are underway. Jack Walzer, a little bit of contact possibly coming to the green there with Tom Dixon, but looks like we are underway, getting through the gears once more here, and we'll see who can get that push out of turn 2. Right now, Jack has just a nose ahead, and a lot of times that second lane will get the momentum on the exit, so watch to see the 83.24 again. Jack squeezing that 411 Tom Dixon. Based on the aggression, I'm thinking these guys might be good on fuel. I think these guys want that track position. They want it now. Still pretty even now. Jack's got just a nose ahead. He's going to clear. Everett's going to stay top because he was definitely not going to be clear. And so put the 83 to the point here on lap number 61. No, math is hard. 56. There we go. As we have 20 laps to go in this one. And yeah, so again, we'll see, like I talked about, there still are the 2 green-white checkered attempts. And we'll see if they have fuel for the scheduled distance, and of course then the fuel for those potential 2 extra green-white checkered attempts. Now the outside lane, you can see Everett Lane, he has easily cleared, but opting not to run the bottom yet. And you can see right there also a little bit of a lineup, not quite lined up there for the 6 of Bud Steele, as well as Eric Laurie. As Bud there's just sawing at the wheel, trying to keep that thing pointing in the right direction. Now he's got it back gathered up there. And there's the side drafting again, the 83 and the 24, trying to stay right on top of each other here. So, like I said, these guys, the aggression to me says we're probably in a good spot on fuel here. So now we just wait to see if that's the case. Someone's going to start to try and make that move at some point. That's a little further back, but man, these pushes, you can see how unsettled that 6 truck is getting. I'd say they are drafting hard right now. Now Everett's going to clear the 83, but again, though, not going to go. Bud's going to drift up a little bit here, try to get some air in the 6 truck, because again, he can only push so long before that truck starts to overheat. So we'll see. But right now, Tom Dixon's been pretty comfortable as that 2nd truck on the inside line. We saw it earlier with he behind Dean Wilkinson. Now he's doing the same here behind Jack Walls. It's like Brandon Briggs as well as Gary Huffines also running that 2nd lane. I see the 5 of Paul Turner. He's starting to maybe pop up there as well, take a look at things. But, I mean, the inside line's been holding pretty evenly here. Well, I feel like the outside lane's been working extremely hard, getting extremely squirrely, but not making too big of the inroads right now. So I think that just says how well that Jack and Tom Dixon have been working together here. Once again, Everett, I believe, is clear, but once more, it's opting to stay middle here. I think he likes that 2nd lane. And you can see he actually kind of drifts up to the 3rd, and that'll be the other thing, is these guys will have to be careful not to drift up too high, open up that middle lane potentially. So right now, though, things are looking pretty good for them. And like I said, kind of right now, Bud's in between 2 teammates, but this could be the break Bud needs here. Just push, push, push. If he can clear the 83, get to the bottom, there it is. That's exactly what I was thinking. Is if he could get to his Roswell teammate Jack Walls, as they're going to start to side draft one another here, as is Jack on Eric Laurie. That was going to be a big opportunity. So now you got teammates lined up on the front 2 rows on each lane. And then actually add Doug Webb as well to the Bootlocker group there, that third truck on that outside lane as well in that number 714. You see momentum starting to shift a little bit further now to that top side. And that's partially because you can see Tom Dixon, he said, I'm going to go top. I've seen the momentum go into that top side. That's where I want to be as well. And so that's really kind of slowed the momentum down of that 6 and the 83. And you can see that's let the top 4 now break away here and get clear of the inside lane. But again, though, we've talked about it before at this track and at Talladega. To me, the second lane definitely has seemed stronger. Now all 3 of them clear. They do get to the bottom in front of Tom Dixon. Again, you can see right now we've got everybody lined up here. That's going to be a very temporary situation. We know at some point the second lane is going to start to form and someone's going to make a charge, but we still got 15 to go. These guys are going to try to kind of work their chess moves and figure out when to make those big moves, keep those temperatures in check until they absolutely have to start shoving around. But I'm going to look at the race pace too. I'm wondering, are we seeing some fuel saving out of these guys now? Because I expected a few other drivers to really start to kind of push forward here that are just really kind of sitting cruise control right now. So I'll be interested to watch, but the thing, again, they got to be careful though, because right now Brandon Briggs, Paul Turner, they're running side by side. Oh, here's the answer though, is they could not make it on field, and so we're going to have some early pit stops here, and it's going to be led by Bud Steele, Jack Walls, who hopefully Bud got it woed down in time. He looked like he had hustled it in. And so we're going to have 6 trucks, it looks like, coming in here from Jack Walls to Justin Davis. Looks like they have gotten in nice and clean. I just got to make sure that they don't step on each other's toes and make sure they hit their pit marks. I think I saw a little bit of a hiccup possibly with Brandon and Bud Steele. And I'm showing Brandon rolling now. I'm not sure if he was able to get settled in there. I think Bud, unfortunately, yeah, he's got the worst of it. I think that might be a speeding penalty. But Jack Wall's going to win the race off of pit road. These guys have got to get single file here. And you see, yeah, Cody's trying to get that Gary Huffine's truck lined up. So now we'll see, do we see the immediate reaction? Are they going to go further? Here you go. Answer is going to be immediate reaction from the boot knockers. Oh, Doug Webb hanging on to a little bit of contact. Tom Dixon's going to kind of pinball a little bit. But I think, I'm going to wait till I say anything. I think all these trucks are staying pointed in the right direction somehow in all of that. So now we'll see Austin McCarthy, a quick pit stop. He clears everybody out. And so what we're going to do is let's watch off the back of that 99 truck. Where are the other drivers? Because they are going to have to start trying to build that momentum up here. And I do believe they are all lined up together. Bud Steele did have a pit penalty in that number 6 truck, unfortunately. So that's got him, unfortunately, out of the order. But almost too good of a pit stop right here for Austin McCarthy, unfortunately. And by too good of a pit stop, I mean way too good of a pit stop. If this was a normal speedway race, Austin McCarthy is loving this. But right now he is thinking, oh man, I am going to get swallowed alive here. And unfortunately, there's not a lot he can do about it. He's just got to wait to get some draft help. And I don't think that Jack's going to slow down and say, hey, let me get lined up with you. Oh, Jack's going to be in a tough spot there because he went down there. And Cody and Vince stayed locked on. They went and said, yep, we'll go topside there. And unfortunately, that's going to drop Jack down a little bit as well, because Jack also had a great pit stop in that 83 truck. Yeah, so what Austin needs to do here is he needs to just find a way to get some draft as soon as he possibly can. Get that speed built back up. I don't know if anybody's going to want to lock on behind him here. Tom Dixon will be the first potential, so we'll see if he does or not. And yes, and I believe these are TW teammates, if I'm not mistaken, as well. So this does make perfect sense. And so, yeah, so they're going to get themselves back up here. And so, yeah, so great job by all the drivers. Everybody's in this main pack once more. Unfortunately, the one that got the penalty but stealing the 6 truck, he is in this pack but is now down 1 lap. And next time by, we will be down to 10 to go. And now we're going to start to see the aggression build up here. You can see Cody and Vince, they have just cleared that 24 of Everett lane. They're going to right now stay middle here. We'll see if they try to go bottom at some point. Right now, again, they look pretty content to be running that top side though. And so again, if I'm the 6 truck, I don't know. If I'm 6, I drop to about where Robert Rock is. You make sure you don't get involved in this wreck because again, you're the only truck lap down. I don't want to risk not getting that wave around. So we'll see if that comes into play. But right now, though, you can see that we are 2 by 2 for the lead. Oh, some contact, a little bit of side drafting. It's kind of unsettled the 14 truck there from a. He gets back in line. And here you go. Everybody's going to start to get organized. Now we're going to get that 3rd lane. It is starting to start getting very tight here at Daytona. We're approaching 9 to go at the line. So that middle lane doing very well with that 16 to 14. Brandon Briggs, the 3rd truck in lane. I say he's got a great opportunity as well to see what he can do with this. And so we'll be keeping an eye on them because see now this, we'll see if this is a good thing or a bad thing now. The top 2, they've got a bit of a breakaway, which means that this group behind should start to pick up a pretty good head of steam on them. So that's going to be a big thing to keep an eye out for. And if they get there, where do they move? Do they try to get around those 2 or not? But you can see, though, that inside line, unfortunately, has lost all its momentum. And there's the contact, the 98 and 24. That's going to bring out a yellow. Unfortunate as Gary Huffines, I think, had contact with the 24 of Everett Lane. And I believe, looks like Gary's going to get the worst of it. And I think I saw some more smoke further up. But we'll go take a look. And I think that was just 2 drivers going for the same real estate here. You can see that 24 truck, he definitely needs to get a fast repair quick. That right front is broken. You can see it bouncing on it. So let's hunt this one back down as well. All right, so we're going to be watching the 24 of Everett Lane is our focus here. And I think what you're going to see is just, I think the 98 just not quite clear. Again, I don't know. I think that's just, again, 2 drivers going for the same real estate here. You see the quick reaction by the 99. He's going to try to jump top. It looks like, oh, Tom Dixon gets a piece as well. Oh, look at the 99. Goes top. It gets back down to the bottom there. And then, oh, I think, okay, I saw the smoke. It was Eric Laurie. He is trying to save this thing. And, oh, and again, it wouldn't be a race with Austin McCarthy if he wasn't getting involved in something tonight. It just has been unfortunate. I said, if there's been an incident, somehow it finds its way on into his lap, unfortunately, for that number 99 truck. But I do believe got away with it fairly clean. A little bit of right front damage. That should be repairable, though. So, yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. But that brings the caution back out here as we are going to be down in the single digits. And won't be a green-white checker restarts here, but we are getting towards it. And now the question, of course, is fuel. Does anybody maybe need to get a little extra just in case we get to those 2 extras? And right now, answer is pretty much no. I think it's just going to be damage repairs, it looks like. So with that, once again, take a quick break as Tom Dixon definitely needs a fast repair, and we'll be right back.
40 Racewear, makers of the ultimate sim racing shoes and custom apparel designed for sim racing by sim racers. 40 racing shoes are engineered to connect racers to the pedals in a way no other racing shoe can, all the while giving you the comfort needed to complete those double and triple stints. Visit 40racewear.com and check out the latest sim racing products that let you connect to your sim.
All right, lights are off of the pace car. We're going to restart this thing with 5 laps to go. And you see on the timing and scoring, Bud Steele is on pit road, but now that he's not on pit road, you see right there that 6 truck back on the lead lap. He was able to not get involved in the yellow, so we are back on with the full field here lined up. And so we've got 16 trucks who can try to win this race tonight. So a few lengthier pit stops, again, damage repairs. So one of those we've talked about, unfortunately, has been a trying night for Austin McCarthy. So we'll see what he's able to do. Again, one of those things, I mean, you got to keep at it. You never know when that turn is going to fall your way. So he's going to be going after it. Everett Lane's going to have to restart a little further back since he had to pit and get that the fast spread taken before he did the full lap around. So, yeah, so we're going to have teammates lined up 1-2. We're going to have Brandon Briggs, Justin Davis teammates lined up 1-2 in row 1. Justin Davis, Brandon Briggs lined up in row 2. Jack Walls and Doug Webb. Then you got Eric Lorry and Bob Fitzgerald. So a little spread out here. So this will be interesting again to see how do these drivers want to manage this. Do they want to try to control both lanes? Do they want to try to find a way to get nose to tail? And so it's really, honestly, in my mind, it's kind of the job of the 39 and the 10. Maybe you try to push enough where they can't get themselves lockstep and give yourself that opportunity. So we'll have to wait and see. Again, we're restarting this 5 to go, not in that green-white checkered window yet. We'll see if we need it or not as we are down and the way green flag was out. Great jump by Vince here, and he is going to easily clear the field. And again, though, is this too good of a jump for Vince there where they might start to swallow him up? So these are going to be the 2 to watch, I think, is if that 63 and the 39 and the 83, if they can get locked on together here, build some momentum up fast enough. But it looks like, unfortunately, no, the 14-16, they're going to stay lined up nicely. And also the 10 and the 7-14 were able to get lined up. And, oh, poor Brandon right now, he's saying, where are my friends? Because they've all found themselves up to the top side. And so, yeah, so tough break for Brandon right now. He's got now Doug Webb. But even for Doug here, they're going to need more numbers here. And I'm seeing Bud Steele on pit road. Not sure, some sort of a penalty, I suppose, but unfortunately not sure what that is. But unfortunately, that's going to put him back now again in the running order, which, depending on how things go, though, I think could maybe still stay on the lead lap. We'll have to wait and see. Yeah, right now, though, definitely the top is where they want to be, but you can see again, though, how stacked up it is on that top side. So eventually, we always talk about those accordions, and eventually it's going to start to work its way slowly but surely back where just the checkups and everything happen, and that's what's going to happen is that inside line is going to start to gain momentum because the top has to slow down a little bit, not to run each other over, and that's where Doug Webb is getting a great push from Brandon Briggs. And you can see Cody saw that happening and said, let me see. Nope, I'm going to go ahead and stay with my teammate here. But you could see for a brief moment, he did think about trying to see if he could take advantage and get that push from the 714 truck. As now they get lined up there with that 16. You see the 10, great shot to the 16 into the 14. And again, that just propels them just that little bit further forward. And Bud Steele back on track, but again, unfortunately, is now down one more lap once again. And so, yeah, so right now, this is the race here. But again, though, we're at 3 to go. It'd be 2 at the line. They'd have to get to that white flag. At that point, it's an official race. But it's getting dicey now. You see these guys running 3 wide here. Jack Walls found the middle, a little bit of contact. Oh, Jack's going to go around that truck, almost flips up and over. But he's off the racing surface. I think we will stay green. And so that's going to bring us now down to 2 to go. And that's a heartbreak for Jack. I love that move he did there to the middle. Oh, and there's going to be more contact with 24 in the 08. That's going to bring the caution out. Everett Lane, I think that was Tom Dixon. He got, heavy contact with the two of them. And so caution back out here, and that will bring us into a green-white checkered. And so, so now it's just kind of who's got what on the damage front. Looks like Tom Dixon's going to need a fast fare. That motor is popped. Jack Walsley gets some track position back, so, I mean, silver linings. Bob Fitzgerald trying to limp that thing back again. But Steele, I mean, got a break again. He's going to be back on the lead lap now with that, so he'll get another opportunity here. So now, though, this will officially put us into green-white checker territory. So let's take a look at all this that happened here, because there was a lot going on there. And so it initially started off with Jack. And so I believe you're going to see a little bit of contact with the 83 and the 714 right there. And just unfortunately, right front, left rear, Jack's just unfortunately nowhere he's going to be able to go. You can see that truck just wants to tip over. Luckily, it lands back on its wheels quick enough. But then at that point, he's just along for the ride here. And so he's going to be able to grab a gear and keep going. But then there's more contact further up here. And that's with the 24 and the 08. So we'll take a look here. I'm wondering if this is another one of those big checkup situations where I was watching the 08. He was catching quickly to the 10 truck, I believe. And so we'll take a look and just like the stack up, and Everett tries to react there, and just unfortunately in that they get a little bit off center, and that gets the 24 into the 08. And then same thing, Bob actually lifts the nose up a little bit, and oh no, don't tell me, please don't tell me. Yep, Austin McCarthy again gets a small piece of it. Brandon Briggs just sneaks by there. Tom Dixon nowhere near as lucky. He takes a huge shot to the outside wall there. And then it's unfortunate, a couple of trucks involved. Robert Rock takes no risk. He said, I'm just going to go mow some grass here. Eric Laurie may have some words for him with that one, though, with the John Deere sponsorship. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. And he's also got to be careful. There's some jumps there that you got to be very careful about. So we will jump back live. We'll see. Do we see pit stops? And, Austin, I think, again, probably damage repairs to that 99 truck. That poor guy has had a night tonight. So he's going to hop back onto pit road. So while they do that, we'll take advantage once more, and we'll be back on the one to go for green-white checkered attempt number 1. Stay tuned.
40 Racewear, makers of the ultimate sim racing shoes and custom apparel designed for sim racing by sim racers. 40 racing shoes are engineered to connect racers to the pedals in a way no other racing shoe can, all the while giving you the comfort needed to complete those double and triple stints. Visit 40racewear.com and check out the latest sim racing products that let you connect to your sim.
All right, lights are off of the pace car. And again, this is going to be green white checkered attempt number 1. So again, what that means is if these guys get to the white flag, at that point it is an official race. They race back to the checkered within reason. However, if there's a caution that comes out before they get to that white flag, they will rack them up and do it one more time. However, on that second attempt, if a yellow comes out before anybody crosses the white flag lap, then it will be the field frozen at the time of yellow, and that will be the running order for the finish. And once again, Bud Steele is back on the lead lap. I say hopefully no bad luck this time once more here. I'd love to see him be able to kind of vie for it here. And again, 16 trucks, all the trucks on lead lap. This is an opportunity for him. So we'll see what they have in store for that. Teammates again lined up row number 1, 14, 16. Can they get lined up like they did last time? And then what do these other drivers do when they saw what they did before? Can they react and do something a little different this time? Let's watch the organization, and then can the inside line make something happen here at the end? There you go, green flag is out. Looks like it's going to be a similar situation here. 14, 16 going to get lockstep with one another. And then they will now from the here on, you can see everybody immediately jump to the top side. That 10 truck, Justin Davis, now he gets an opening here. So we're going to pretty much see the field just about, yeah, here you go. Everybody's pretty much rim running here, trying to build that speed back up here. And again, though, now it's just try to get that timing built up, get the momentum built up, and then try to make a move on those two. And so you can see already drivers getting a little antsy. The 10, 39, they're going to try to lock on. I just don't know if they have the speed yet. So we'll keep an eye on Justin Davis there, Brandon Briggs. But they're going to need the numbers. And right now you can see, though, the numbers are staying on that top line. Again, though, job number 1, they got to get to that white flag before they can race it for the win. That is going to happen. So here is attempt number 1. Will be the only attempt. We have it here. Will it be Vince? Will it be Cody? Can we see Doug Webb, Eric Laurie? Can they make a late charge? When do they make their move? I wonder, are they laying back just a teeny bit here? Look at the gap between the 16 and 14. They're going to try to get lined up to each other, I think, as well. So here we go out of 2. Do you see a move? Oh, a lot of movement there in the inside line. A little bit of contact trying to get lined up. Unfortunately, off-centered. So here you go. The 714 is going to push the 16. And Eric Laurie's going to go with him. Dean Wilkinson right there. Where do they go? Jack Walls is right there as well. Here you go. And see, that's the thing is they got to be on pretty much on the exact page here. And unfortunately there, I think the 714 07 got separated here. And I think the momentum shift is going to stay with that front row. And it's going to be Vicente getting the win over Cody. But it will be Doug Webb able to make that move there to get into the top 3 position. And so that will be our podium finisher, will be Doug Webb. And then Cody Nagels, Vicente, our top 2 tonight. So while they hustle around to show or to do their celebrating, before they get to that, we can pull off our final results for tonight's event, as it will be Vicente getting the win over Cody Nagels. Then you got Doug Webb, you mentioned Dean Wilkinson, Jack Walls rounding out our top 5, as they going for a big slide. There's that 14 right through the Daytona. And then you got Eric Laurie, Paul Turner, Bob Fitzgerald, Austin McCarthy still winds up with the top 10 after the night he had. Everett Lane rounds out our top 10. And then you got Justin Davis, Brennan Briggs, Gary Huffines, Bud Steele, Robert Rock, and Tom Dixon are our finishers this evening. So what we shall do now is let's run back here. We're going to chat with our top 3. There we go. So we're going to kick it off with Doug Webb. So let me keep pushing buttons. We'll get Doug in on over here. There he is. So we're going to grab our third place finisher, Mr. Doug Webb. Doug, you gained 10 spots tonight. You gained the most spots tonight to get that podium spot. And I mean, obviously got to the first green white checkered, but I mean, it was obviously tough sledding because everybody I think wanted to be that guy at the end to try to make the move. Is just kind of when do you do it? And I mean, and of course all the teammates trying to find themselves to get lined up. You and Eric just about had it lined up. And then another driver was, I don't know if it was Dean or not. He wanted to make a move too, and so maybe separated your original plan. How are you guys trying to set that one up there at the end and try to see if you could get that 1-2 at the end there?
Yeah, after that restart there, we were just trying to stay on the high side behind Vincent and Cody. You know, them guys are really fast, so I was just trying to stay with them. Eric was there, and so he was coming to turn 3 on that last lap, and I decided to dive down to get a run. And like you said, I don't know. I think Dean wanted that real estate as well, so it kind of just ended the way it ended. Them guys are fast over there, so I'm happy with the podium. We tried to stay together. There was a few incidents throughout the evening. I didn't know I moved up 10 spots. That's happy about that. Happy about the third place finish.
Yeah, I mean it was eventful obviously tonight, and say having to avoid some wrecks, and then like I said, figuring out when and where to make the moves and everything. And so
Hmm.
yeah, I mean there was obviously lots of balance, and then the decision on when to pit, because I wasn't sure on the fuel mileage. Like, okay, can they make it? And then it looked like short pitting was the decision for pretty much everybody, because the first group went in,
Yeah.
and the next lap everybody jumped right in behind them. Was that kind of the game plan from the get go, or were you maybe trying to catch some guys off a little bit if possible?
Well, yeah, that was the game plan, short pit, just to get enough to finish out the race. And when the guys did it a lap before us, so that made our decision easy. So we went ahead and did it. It was a fun race. The draft package on these things are, I don't know, they're a little bit different. It seemed like that outside lane was fast, actually. So, but yeah, it's fun, man. It's fun. I like racing over here in Area 51.
And I'm 100% with you. I commented on that too, where it almost seems like, yeah, the second, third lane is almost the place to be potentially. It used to be, yeah, you want that yellow line, and that way you're safe to the left side. But now it's almost, yeah, you almost have to give that inside line open just to maybe, I don't know if it's the momentum or what, but I've seen the same thing. A lot of, it's not even just the trucks. A lot of them are, you want that top side. And so it's been really interesting watching that over the course of the season. But again, like I said, you
Hmm.
and Eric had a
Hmm.
great setup there, and just unfortunately didn't quite pan out. But like you said, still getting a podium's a good result for you.
Yeah, that's anytime you get a top 5, I think in this league, you're doing pretty good because everybody over here is fast. So I'm happy about it. I'll take it.
Yeah,
Congratulations to Cody and Vincent, 1-2 there. So they're fast guys.
yeah. So gain 10 spots in the race. You also gained 6 spots in the points, so you're up to 6 now overall. So that's always kind of start to
Nice,
build that margin a
nice.
little bit for once we. I said we don't want to talk playoffs yet, but you know it's coming. But no,
Well, I'm glad I finally had a kind of a decent finish. I hadn't don't seem like I've had much luck the last few weeks and last season in the trucks, just for whatever reason. I'm not sure, but I'll take a top 3 anytime.
yeah, it's never a bad result. I say you always want to get more, but yeah, we're like I said, we're greedy like that.
Hmm.
But before we let you go, sir, though, always got to give you the floor though. Any thanks and shouts for that podium tonight.
Yeah, I just like to thank Jesus. He's moving. We can see it. So I just want to give him props. Thank you guys in the booth. You do a great job. Thanks to Area 51 and my teammates, boot knockers. I couldn't do it without them for sure. Thank you guys.
Great job, Doug, and yeah, looking forward to seeing you up here some more, man.
Yeah, appreciate it.
All right, we're gonna jump one spot forward. We're gonna split them up tonight. They're too used to being able to chat together. Now we're gonna get them one on one because we have to see if they know what to do when it's just them versus me. But Cody, I say you and Vince had a couple restarts side by side. I was curious how the other guys would adjust to it. Doug alluded to it as well, and I had noticed it during the race too. And we've talked before is the second, the third lane, like it's just this season's. I don't know if it's something's changed or what, but the momentum just running that top side seems like that's the way to go lately. We haven't seen the inside line be able to make that winning move yet, but that might be because you two are just the ones hogging that second and third lanes there at the end of these races.
It's definitely the top two lanes. To be honest with you, if I had a choice, I would pick the middle, at least at Daytona. Um, it seems like when you run wall, I don't know if it's because there's enough drag up there. It's definitely still strong, but every time that we just sit and camp wall, the bottom gets a huge run. But when you run mid, there's enough of a side draft that it prevents the bottom from really, really going. So it kind of depends. But and even if you run mid, it seems like that you can get away with people even going to your outside and you're still okay. I kind of feel a little bit vulnerable when it's just me and him on the wall, but and that's why I was telling him if you see them go down, we need to chase them down in side draft and make sure that me and him are connected because I think when me and him are connected, that seems to be kind of, we're able to keep enough momentum up and we can stall them out relatively quick. When we get disconnected, that's when it seems like they get their, generate the biggest runs.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. The more you can stay connected, the better. And we saw there were some attempts for different runs going, but it's like we talked about. Like, I mean, you two, when you guys are locked on, it's you guys are kind of almost just one really long truck versus everybody's okay. Let me move a little left, move a little right, try to get lined up correctly, and just you lose so much time in doing that. Like right here, you guys are pretty much like I said, just barely off centered from one another. So. Like I said, I mean, everybody's gonna have to step their game up to try to knock you two off the throne. It's been a really good season for you and your team. Obviously, it's also been a fun week for you. So now the next part is: are you getting Daytona'd out at all? I don't know if you've done the NIS 500 yet. So I'm guessing is that next on the list?
Well, I don't think I'm going because to be honest with you, you hit the nail on the head. I am Daytona'd out. I got in this race and didn't practice any, and I actually ran a one lap queue and totally forgot that it's even a two lap. And I know it's a two lap in Area 51, but I forgot and I ran a one lap and didn't realize I messed up till I did it and I qualified like 10th and I'm like, huh, yeah, there, that's something. But yeah, it's just I've ran so many laps and I have another 500 in a couple weeks, but. I I really just want to get off this track for a little bit. It has treated me well in the past couple weeks. I've definitely done, I've prepared a lot for it and the hard work has paid off. And, I'm happy I got Vince in victory lane, but I don't know how much more of this I can take. I had a lot of my friends running NIS. I had setups being thrown my way, people wanting me to run their setups and stuff on it. And I was just like, guys, maybe, but I doubt it. I really just, it's it is that time. We all need a break, and I've lost count. I've ran 4 or 5 larger 500s already in the last like month. So I'm ready to step away from Daytona for a little bit, especially Daytona in the next gen.
And I'm saying a few weeks ago it was the road where Vince was trying to take the wrong turn one, and no, yeah, I say we got one more on Sunday, and then you get a reprieve. I say it looks like we got Atlanta, Talladega, and then iRacing Superspeedway for the one time this season. So yeah, so you'll get a break from us for Daytona for a little bit, but. I mean, again, it was a really fun race. Like I said, didn't get to do the pit strategy tonight and try to break the field apart, but you guys were still able to find your way up to the front there at the end and hang on to the top two spots against everybody else. So, like I said, you got one more to go on Sunday if you're here. No pressure. I said we'll see what the 500 does. That could throw a wrench into things as well. Hopefully, weather permits. But
Yep.
man, Cody, again, great job tonight, sir. Definitely want to give you give you an opportunity. Thanks and shouts for that runner up tonight, sir.
Well, thank you. I want to thank you, obviously, Gael, for broadcasting for all these seasons. Want to thank Charles. Want to thank Bud and everyone that helps out at Area 51. Dean, you guys do a fantastic job over here. Want to thank everyone at Nightmare. And tonight it was just me and Vince, and that's his second win on Fridays. And I got to give him a big shout out because by the looks of his raciness on Friday nights. I told Vince I think he's got that dog in him. So maybe this is going to be his season on Friday nights to bag a Friday title. It'll be a lot of fun. I can't remember because I think he might have won one last season too, but it's so easy to lose track when we run these almost every night. But either way, Vince is looking really good, and he might be the driver to beat on Friday nights. And as long as it's one of us, I personally don't care. I love seeing Vince have the success he does because he's just a fantastic teammate and he deserves every bit of success. So I'm happy for him.
Yeah, no, he's a great dude. And saying, plus now I get to talk to him about the Arizona weather because I know that we talked pre-race, so we got to bring that up on him too. So, but no, great job, Cody. I say, hopefully no Daytona nightmares tonight, but look forward to seeing you on track again soon, man.
Thank you, Kyle.
All right, that leaves us one fellow left to chat with. He's already midway through his celebration in the infield there. Vince, you did a pretty good job going through the Daytona lettering there first off, so well done on that one.
Thank you.
But yeah, I mean, I was talking to Cody. I told him I'm splitting you guys up tonight. We had the team before. I was like, all right, now you guys got to see if you know how to do this one-on-one. But yeah, I mean, started from pole, win the race. I say is definitely an easy one for you tonight. Nothing happened for you had to work your way back forward or anything like that. I mean, just how did the race go for you? No green flag pit stops. Obviously, that's where you guys usually shine really strong. But yeah, I mean, was it pretty much straightforward for you guys, or it took a while for you and Cody to get lined up, obviously with his qualifying miscue? But yeah, take us through kind of how you felt your race went tonight.
Yeah, it went. I mean, it went pretty smooth. Like you say, he forgot that it was a two-lapper on the quali, so that's why he started a little bit deeper than I did, or else he probably would have had pole, to be honest. But yeah, then there was a caution there, and then we pitted. Might as well take four tires and just went up through the field again. I think I brought Cody with me, or I pushed Cody up there. I forget. We tandem, and it was fairly easy to get up there. Um, and then there was another caution or so, and then Cody was looking at the numbers, and it seemed pretty close as far as the fuel strat. But I was like, yeah, okay, but we've already had like a couple cautions, but we'll see if it does pan out. But yeah, I was looking forward to green flag pit stops, and we were getting really close to it, and then there'll be a caution, but unfortunate there. But and then at the end, just stayed up front, and just trying to stay up front, clean air, have Cody behind me. He said he was committed to pushing me all night, so I go, all right, cool, I'll take it.
Say there's worse places to be than leading him.
Yeah, because I mean, he sees a lot more than I do, so if I'm a pusher, he tends to maneuver my truck where I need to be, so he could see everything the way it's looking back there in his rear mirror, so he kind of could predict and see the win, I would say. Um, and just protect the outside, and then just stay mid, and he would just connect it to me, two truck tandem there at the end. Just it looked like they had a shot going down on the bottom, but then Cody says, hey, let's go down, go mid, and we side drafted a little bit there, and they just stalled their run on the bottom, and it was home free from there.
Yeah, and that's the way I talked to Cody about. It's like there's times we'd watch you guys, and it was just like it was one truck the way you two were locked on so well to each other. And then the other thing I was going to ask you, so you had the two restarts, late restarts, and so both times you guys are side by side. Did you worry that okay, I'm gonna have to do something a little different to get locked on with Cody, or did you guys feel pretty confident that even if they did get to you guys, like I said, that kind of that middle top was still where you needed to be?
Yeah, I mean, middle top. I mean, that final restart, they took the backstretch. I think they went mid, and then they should have dropped to the bottom, but they stayed mid and side drafted themselves off. Because we're on the top side, and it kind of hurt them. They should have just dropped to the bottom, get away from that side draft, and then come back up. You know what I mean?
Yep,
But
yep.
um, other than that, I mean, that was the only little scary point there, I would say.
No, I mean
But
you guys did an awesome job, and I say we talked a little pre-race, so say we got to talk family weather for a little bit because let's say it's not in the 80s over here in Arizona, say so. So I don't know if your family's gonna be happy or upset about that.
yeah, I think they're okay, whatever weather. I mean, pretty much just try to stay indoors. So my folks are a little bit older, so yeah, they just I got a phone call the other day from my pops, and he said, you know, I look forward to the races, and I didn't have anything to look forward to in the morning because usually he watches back in the morning because he wakes up really early in the morning on the weekends, and he likes to run it back. I'm all like, sorry, Dad, we took the off week for Super Bowl, and yeah, so he was a little upset there, and that
It's priorities. I mean, come on. I mean,
yeah.
there's Super Bowls whenever.
Yeah, so yeah, he was a little upset that he didn't get to have something to watch in the morning. So hopefully he'll watch this one back tomorrow morning and he'll be happy.
Yeah, this will definitely make up for it there, and that's what I love so much is the friends and the family watching and supporting. And like I said, even if it's the next morning, 'cause I totally get you as well. It's like yeah, there's times where it's like yeah, maybe a little later than I want. I'll replay it later on and all that. So no, it's super cool, and yeah, definitely enjoy this one, man. And awesome, like I said, that your family's able to watch and support you. That's what I think one of my favorite things about doing this is to see that support. So before we let you go though, as always, sir, gotta give you the opportunity here. Any thanks and shout outs for that win tonight.
Yeah, thank you, Gail, for broadcasting. I definitely can't wait to watch this one back. And I want to thank Area 51 for putting on this league and all the admins for what they do and putting up with all these drivers here because sometimes I'm a whole lot of Nebraska. And I want to thank Cody for tonight, Team Nightmare Esports. And then also want to thank my sponsor on the truck there. You can't forget Vince Service and Repair. And my folks out in Arizona, my mom and dad, I love you guys. And my wife for letting me do what I do.
Congrats again, man. Go enjoy this one, and I'm sure we'll chat soon, sir.
Thank you.
All right, that is our race winner, Vicente Guerrero. I say Vicente Vince. I don't say I want to make sure I don't get on the wrong side of his parents too. I gotta make sure I call him the approved parental name. But no, great job by him and Cody. Again, those two, like that team is going to be tough to beat. I mean, we've talked about it from the get go. That whole group is very very stout and. Yeah, I mean, there was a chance there. Unfortunately, just they couldn't quite get as organized as they were hoping for. And unfortunately, that was kind of what killed that momentum there at the end. But again, great move by Doug. They're able to grab that podium here as well. And yeah, I mean, sometimes, honestly, just getting a podium in itself is a really good thing here with this league because, yeah, the competition is definitely tough. So, but yeah, want to thank everybody that's able to be here tonight for watching Sporting. Brendan, thank you for hopping on the track there. So get an extra truck in there. You're always a fun to watch, and so you always put on a good show as well. And also the same thing, just love the enthusiasm and dedication that you have behind the wheel in the booth. It's always a ton of fun, man. And then yeah, everybody else, thank you so much for watching. We'll be back on Sunday night here one more time at Daytona before Cody gets a reprieve. And then, yeah, then we'll be back to our regular schedule. Should be the rest of the way, barring anything crazy. So, as always, until next time, though, take care, stay safe, have a good night.